Nifty is looking decent, 38 points higher. Off the day's highest point, 9,500 was off the day's high, but some of the heavyweights have slightly given up their gains. So not that most of them are in red now, but it's still on the positive side, but markets have slightly given up their gain. Let's welcome in George Alexander Muthoot of Muthoot Finance. They declared numbers overnight yesterday. Very, very strong move on the stock. It's up 3.5-4% Numbers were also looking decently good. Sir, if you could just tell us about the numbers, what happened in Q4. It seems that there is no impact of demonetization on the company.
Demonetization was only affected the growth of the portfolio, which did not happen in the last 2 quarters. So we were able to just maintain our assets under management in the last 2 quarters after you. But it is not. Nevertheless, it has not impacted us at all with regard to our interest collections, etc. Our interest collection actually has improved in the year from 4,800 crores to 5,700, and this is because we have been given good focus on periodical interest servicing down the line to the branches. So in the last 5 quarters, we have been giving lot of focus on this. The branch staff have been energized, incentivized, call centers have been put up. So overall, it has resulted in better interest collections over the quarters. Secondly, our cost of funds have also come down from 9.25% to 8.69%. That is also definitely given a positive impact on the interest and the margins. And our NPAs have also come down from 600 crores to 460 crores. Not that these are loss NPAs, but then we can book more interest on the NPAs, which have come down from 600 to 460. So all these factors have actually helped us to show a better interest collection, and that is reflecting in the better bottom line.
Right. Can you tell us the reason for sharp rise in interest yield?
That's what I said. The cost of funds have come down. The interest collections have bettered, and also the NPAs have come down. All these have definitely affected the yield. But probably, having said that, we have been maintaining our yield at 11% to 10%, 11%, 11.5%. Probably this year it has gone little above 12%. Hoping to maintain the 11 to 12% NIM is what we would like to be doing going forward also. And as far as the AUMs are concerned, there has not been much growth in the AUM in the last quarter, but now economic activity is slowly starting to pick up, not really picked up. So we expect this year also to have a 10% growth, a minimum 10% growth in the portfolio. Last year we had a 12% growth. We would have done much better, but had it been not for the last 2 quarters. But then this quarter we expect about 10% growth, so the AUM to reach 30,000 crores in the goal. Having said that, we are also diversifying our portfolio because our subsidiaries, we have four subsidiaries which are actually doing good work. The home finance, the microfinance and the Sri Lanka, they have all been doing well. Today they constitute about 5% of the total portfolio. Next year we want this to reach about 9 to 10% of the portfolio. So instead of 95% of gold loan, next year we should have about 90% and 10% on these diversified portfolios of home finance, etc. These are all, home finance is a 100% subsidiary. The Sri Lanka and the Belstar are 65% subsidiaries of Muthoot. Actually, their profit is also brought into the consolidated profit and loss account. So we see next year also, we hope to reach these numbers of these AUMs.
Right. Can you just tell us the extra provisioning that the company has made? What does it essentially say?
It is actually a provisioning to manage the gold price risk. So when the gold price actually goes up, we would like to keep a provisioning cushion in the books of accounts and not distribute it as profit. So our profits, we have actually brought down our profits to that extent by creating this extra provision. Something like a standard asset provision. Extra standard asset provision.
Right. In terms of gold prices going up, how will that benefit the company going ahead? It's after really long that you're seeing such move on gold prices.
So it actually doesn't help us, but of course if the gold price is going up, it reduces our auction need. People may come back and take more of their gold. and probably our interest collection should be a tad better. But we have actually de-risked ourselves from this by collecting the interest periodically. That's what I said first, that we are actually giving more focus on the interest collection so we don't get impacted with these gold price fluctuations. And sometimes when we get such fluctuation income, etc., we have put it as a provision so that it as a reserve.
Right. What was the OPEX in the quarter?
The OPEX has actually come down a bit. It was about from now about 4.56%. Earlier it was 4.76, etc. Now it is 4.5. Almost something like maintaining it.
Right. Can you talk about the loan growth? Does it continue to be stable in double digits?
Loan growth last year was, I told, first two quarters we had actually reached more than 12%. Last 2 quarters we couldn't grow. But this year we hope it will be good in this year. So it all depends on the economic activities also. The economic activities need to pick up. There is no demonetization effect is not there as far as cash availability or fund availability is concerned. But the impact should be on economic activity where people need money, and that actually needs to grow up. So we have been able to maintain our books. That itself is a big thing because our loan portfolio is 5 to 6 months. So in 5 to 6 months our portfolio comes down. So we have to go on newer loans to do that. So we are putting in all efforts. We are doing digital. We are doing all sorts of marketing sales through the branches to keep the gold loan. So this year we would expect the gold loan portfolio to grow by 10%.
Right. Can you just tell us that after demonetization, now it's really no impact of FY18 on demonetization? So if the underlying growth is strong, which you mentioned that you expect to be decent, loan growth should be good?
Yeah, we should be good. So if the underlying economic activity is good, loan growth should be definitely be more than 10%, certainly. Because we have all these things in place, we have the branches in place, we have the people in place, we have the processes in place, and maybe fund availability also is not an issue. So I think that's all augurs well only. And talking about fund availability, our last 2 issues of 2,000 crores and 1,400 crores of NCD was fully subscribed in 1 or 2 days. So that shows that we are able to raise funding also, and at very reasonable rates.
Right. Just in terms of rates coming down, do you expect that to continue? Because, RBI seems to be on a pause. Do you expect rates in the system or cost of funding to come down further?
The CFO, Mr. Oommen, is here. I think he should answer it better.
I think already, RBI has communicated a neutral stand in terms of the rates. I think no further, rate reduction by banks seems unlikely. We are retiring our high-cost debt as and when it matures. So we are in the process of currently raising funds at the current rate. So to that extent, we will have the benefit of rate reduction. Further reduction, it all depends on the views which RBI is going to take in the coming quarters.
Right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking out time for us. Always good to get a perspective. That was the management at Muthoot Finance. However, as we were speaking, the stock is slightly down, but I think that's got to do with the market slightly going off the day's highest point. So that's essentially what has happened now. But still 384 up about 1.5%. Taking a break, coming back in 2 minutes. Focus on results would continue.